Hey, what is going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and welcome to another episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. This is a series that I do with my dog Lily over there, where I go over a bunch of stuff that I end up picking up this video game related. This can be from garage sales, video game stores that have good sales, other assorted places that have good sales, really things that are related to gaming, even though I already see something I missed right there that is not related to gaming, but still, I guess I'll talk about it. It's too late to take it out of the picture here. So anyways, this is going to be a pretty fun pickup time because Lily might just chill out over there in the corner like she did for some of the other episodes, but this is going to be a pretty fun pickup time because there's going to be several different stores I went to, several different thrift shops, some eBay stuff as well too, just some, and Seattle. I'm going to be talking about my recent trip to Seattle. Not so much a trip itself, more the stuff that I picked up there. I promise I didn't go there just to do thrifting and all that. No, that's not why I went there. I went there just for vacation, just because I wanted to, and I'd never been there. But of course, I had to hit up the thrift shops and everything, so some of it's from there, some of it isn't. I'm going to talk about the stuff that I end up getting locally, and I'm going to talk about the stuff that I got from Seattle. All while Lily is kind of just going to chill out over here, because she really likes to do that, so let's go ahead and get all into this here. Alright, Lily, so what do you think of this? Let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to have to come over here, and I cannot convince her to come over here. She just really likes that corner. But either way, let's go ahead and sit down, take a look at what we got. So first of all, yes, we end up getting some consoles through this pickup here. So first of all, I end up going to one of the thrift shops locally here, end up getting all of this stuff right here that you are seeing on top of the Xbox as well as the Xbox itself. So here goes the story with this. End up going there, saw some games in the cabinet, saw this console around the back there, and I do have a few Xboxes, but they've all been, modded up to high hell and back, I guess. And right here, I've been needing just a all-stock, never-touched Xbox for a few months to do a few videos that I'm wanting to make. All of mine have been hard-modded. Custom BIOS, of course, have upgraded hard drives. And I just need to do a few videos with a clean, unmodified stock Xbox. So admittedly, I paid a little bit more than what I wanted to with this here. As you can see, this is the price that I paid for it. It was just under, it was $30. I'll just round up to that. But here's the story with that. So it was funny because the person I was talking with, she probably didn't think she probably didn't I don't think she knew that I kind of knew what I was doing in regards to either, repairing to a degree and especially modifying these, because she told me immediately, she's like, yeah, it came with the AV cables and the power cable, by the way, and a controller. But what happened was she was like, yeah, no, so you can't really test that here. I'm like, well, your policy, from what I've talked to you guys before, and this is the thing, they don't do returns, so if you buy something, it doesn't work, you can't bring it back. But their policy is, if you can get it to if you can test it out within the store, that's totally fine. So for example, if you can grab a TV, grab a Xbox game, grab the console, get the AV cable, the power cable, and find a TV, as long as it's within the store, you can test it out to your heart's content. And with these, it's pretty much, if you plug it into the AV, plug it into the power, and it turns on, and it's not going crazy, then it's going to be fine for the most part. So she was kind of stressed that to me. I was like, I know, but I can test it in the store, right? She's like, yeah, but you can't play a game on it because we don't have a TV. I'm like, that's fine. Do you all have a power outlet? So I ended up finding a power outlet, found a power cable, plugged it all in, and then it turned on, and I waited about a minute or two. It didn't turn red. It wasn't flashing any crazy colors. So to me, that was the sign of a good Xbox. So I ended up picking it up, and it came with a Duke controller initially. This is, I think, either a 1.0 or 1.1 model, so one of the earlier TSOPs, thankfully. But either way, this ended up coming with a Duke controller, and this Duke controller was missing the breakaway, so you couldn't even connect it to any of the controller ports, as well as it was kind of ripped apart, like the wires were coming frayed, and she showed it to me, and we kind of negotiated a bit. She's like, oh, hey, is this going to be an issue? I was like, nah, it's fine. She's like, yeah, but this control doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm going to be modifying this system, messing around with it, and I have plenty of parts at home to do this. And she's saying, okay, well, yeah, I guess it's not that bad, and you can get another controller for $5. So this was behind her. for $5, still brand new in box. Granted, it is a aftermarket controller, but it is a controller. I didn't really need it, but I was like, well, there's a $5 controller behind you. Since this one is in such poor shape, could you throw in this controller for me? And she's like, you know what, we're not supposed to, but I'll do it anyways because this controller doesn't look very good. And then she ended up turning the Duke around. I wish I took photos of it, but she flipped it around and she got angry because there was like a giant chunk of plastic missing from the controller. And she's like, oh, this is unacceptable. This is, you know what, I'm just going to ask you, can I just swap you? Like, can we just take this controller and I will just give you that one? I was like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, okay, because I really apologize because this is unacceptable to me. I understand that, you know, some of the stuff might not be working 100% or it might be a little dirty, but I am very disappointed in my coworkers that they saw this and they put it out in this condition. This should not have gone out. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. Just because, again, I didn't even need that really. I just wanted the console itself, but I was like, yeah, if you're going to include the cables and the controller, why not? So I got a full Xbox for $30. Now, that's a little more than what you would expect, I guess, from a thrift store. One thing I wanted to talk about, which I'm going to get into here as well too with the Seattle stuff, is in my area at least, I think the cheapest I picked up an Xbox for was like $5 or $7. The most expensive I've seen them at thrift stores is like $40 or $50. And at game shops, original Xboxes go for about $50, $60, something like that. It's very regional because some people they say, like, when I pick up things in here, they're like, oh, that wasn't a good price, whatever it is. Kind of depends on your region, really. Like, for example, that one I'll just get into real quick. That Xbox I end up winning off eBay. I just decided to put in a bid, and I was the only person who bid on it. And I paid about $25 for that Xbox. It's a 1.6 model, console only, but it did include a disc-only copy of 007's From Russia with Love. And it included it because it was inside of the disc tray. So everything worked on that as well, too. So as you can see, I got a cheaper Xbox off eBay, but it didn't come with any of the other accessories. It wasn't guaranteed to work. This one wasn't either, but I was still able to test it right there. So still, even so, I mean, technically this would have been the better deal because I could have tested it right there, and it came with the extra hookups. Meanwhile, as I was saying with game shops, normally these go for about $50, $60 at game shops. When I was over in Seattle, I went to Pink Gorilla, which I'm going to talk about the pickups I got there. They're selling original Xboxes for $35. That is the cheapest I have seen original Xboxes go for in an actual game shop. So it really depends on your region there. But either way, got the Xbox with the controller and the hookups for $30. Then I end up picking up a few games as well here too. First thing, check this out. I got a Xbox One game. Not a original Xbox game, not a Xbox One game, a Xbox One game. Yeah, I ended up picking up Homefront: The Revolution. I've never played this. I played a little bit of the first one, did not like it at all, and I know that this did not review well at all. And this had many issues, many issues from what I understand. I ended up picking up, though, because one, you know, for it complete for $7, as I paid right there, seemed to be fair. And also, I ended up buying a Xbox One X a few months ago, and from what I understand, this game has been patched to high heaven and is fully Xbox One X compatible. And John from Digital Foundry did an excellent video talking about Homefront: The Revolution, and he ended up giving it a stellar review, and he was saying, like, stellar as in, like, the technology. He said the game was good as well, too, but he's like, no, at the end of the day, if you can find this game or you want to revisit it and you have an Xbox One X, it is totally worth it. So you know what, thank you to John from Digital Foundry. I found this for $7. I said, you know what, I'll try this out at one point, see what the Xbox One X is capable of, and not only that, but see, you know, how well this has been patched. I ended up getting this Operation Flashpoint Red River for $3. And this here, Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel. I'm trying to remember, because I think I played... No, this was the third one, which I wasn't too crazy about. I really liked the first one. Second one was okay. Third one I wasn't crazy about. This, they end up mischarging me. This one was $4, so not bad on that, honestly. Figured I'll pick that up. So again, yeah, there's Xbox, all that other stuff. Let me go ahead and move the consoles over to the side here, and there we go. So next up, we have some brand new games right here. Not new as in new releases, but brand new as in they've been sealed. I end up going to a Five Below, which I would recommend you all check out, because I've been surprised at what it has. It's pretty much, in my opinion, a really trendy, hip dollar store, except it's not a dollar. Their limit is $5, so they have a lot more stuff that they're capable of selling. But they have video games, and sometimes they'll have 50 copies of one video game. Sometimes they'll have like 6 video games. Sometimes they might not have any. But either way, I did notice they normally have a lot of copies of the same games. It just depends on your location. Sometimes it's one game, sometimes it's 5 games. I think this one they had 6 or 7 different games that I found in the store. But I decided to pick these up. These were the most expensive things, so $5 a piece. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, Devil May Cry 4, Assassin's Creed Revelations, and Assassin's Creed 3. This one on Wii U. I said, why the hell not? Let's go ahead and pick that up. I'm going to move this over to the side because that was a Seattle pickup, so I don't want to get into that yet. But right here, here's also another thing. I'll just throw this in real quick. Here is a microphone that I end up getting from Savers. Apparently, this is the Audio Technica. It's a cardioid microphone, and it is the ATR 1200. It's normally a cheap microphone, and it was even cheaper. I believe this was half off, so this was $3.50. I figured, why not? I checked out a review. It sounded good enough for $3.50. $3.50. I couldn't complain. Let's see what the Wolf has to think about it. Wolf, what do you think about it? She doesn't care. I'll let you keep that. There you go, Wolf. Alright, let's go ahead and go back over here. So, this is kind of the last bit of games that I got here locally. So, these ones I also end up getting from Savers. These are Wii games, obviously. But got Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, Shaun White Snowboarding, and Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. These were $3.99 each, I believe. Next up, I ended up going to a few other thrift stores, and they were having $1 on media. So all the rest of the games here would have been $1 each. And that was... Or actually, no, excuse me. Before I mess up on that, no. Alright, there we go. No, actually, this one I did not get on sale. This one was $5, but still, I figured that's good enough for this. The other ones were $3.99. But the rest of them here were all $1. So, Swingway Golf on the PS2, Ace Combat 6, Fires of Liberation. This one here, I'm going to tell a story about in a little bit, but the Black Ops 1 and 2 combo pack. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. This one actually does not have the manual and stuff with it, but I said, you know what, it's $1, and it's almost complete, so I'm still going to pick it up. MX vs. ATV Reflex. Payday 2. Again, probably not the best version of Payday, but it was $1. And Call of Juarez the Cartel. I actually played this like years ago. I never finished it, and I thought it was interesting, but I'd like to, try it out. So, yeah, this game here that I wanted to cover, this one here. Now, I just want to talk about this real quick. I was not going to pick this up, and I actually picked this exact purchase up in a previous episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups, but I decided to pick this up because I opened it up, and check this out. That's not Black Ops 1 or 2. In fact, it's missing both games, but inside of its place is Halo 5. So this is the second Xbox One game I've picked up at a thrift store in the same hall of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, inside here is Halo 5, and this actually worked out in my favor because I wasn't sure if they were going to honor the $1 media. Some stores do, some stores don't, but I ended up getting the rest of these games, and they came in at $1 each, and I even told them this one was the wrong disc. But then when those ones came up at $1, I was like, wait, can I get this as well too? And they're like, yeah, sure, but you just said it's the wrong game. I'm like, I know it's the wrong game. I know what I'm doing. My logic here was Halo 5, unfortunately, does not have a split screen. Now, I have 2 Xbox One consoles. I have a Xbox One and an Xbox One X. So now, if I have someone over and they ever wants to play, LAN Halo 5, or we want to play online together, we can do that pretty easily because I have my own copy of Halo 5, and that's the limited edition, whatever version of it. And I also have this spare copy as well, too, just in case. On top of that, I do have this pack of Black Ops 1 and 2. Both the discs were actually pretty messed up, so I end up repairing them. I have my own resurfacing machine, so I was able to repair them, so all is good. But the case, the artwork is messed up, and it doesn't have any of the booklet as well. This one does. So check it out. What I'm able to do now is, this is essentially in really solid shape. This is in great shape, aside from like the GameStop sticker right there. So I'm just going to take my other games, my other copy of Black Ops 1 and 2, take the discs out, put it inside of here, and then I can use that other case as, a backup of something, just in case I need a 360 case for whatever reason. And I have Halo 5 right here. So that was the idea. For $1, I get Halo 5, and I'm able to properly complete one of my game sets. So it was worth a lot more than $1 to me, thankfully. All right, so now we're going to get into the fun part. We're going to get into, check it out, all of these right here, all of this good stuff. Aside from this, actually, this one I also got from a thrift store. This is $6. End up being, I need to clean these, of course, but 2 nunchucks, 2 Wiimotes, and a charging station. I don't even know if the charging station really works because I'm going to need the batteries, which it looks like these do not have the rechargeable batteries, but I don't mind. I end up paying, if you take that out, $1.25 for each of these little peripherals, which I don't mind at all. So now let's go ahead and go over to this here, which is all the stuff I got when I was in Seattle. So this is a big mix-up of thrifts, and this is game store pickups and all of that. So first of all, let's get the console out of the way. I end up finding this PlayStation 2. This is, unfortunately, it's not Japanese. One of my friends, when I showed him, he thought it was Japanese, but it's not. This sticker actually, so this had tape all over it, and when I packed it, the tape ended up ripping this off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go to a dollar store, buy a glue stick, and just put it on here, and then just glue it back on there because I want that sticker to be retained. But this is a 79001 model, so again, unfortunately not Japanese, but it is a white PS2, and big shout out to Executioner, who follows me on Twitter. He actually said that this is the SingStar Bundle PS2. I didn't even know they made a white PS2 in the US. I've seen black slim PS2s, both of them. I've seen, the one that's all matte black, and I've seen the one that's matte and shiny, like this part is shiny, this part's matte. I think that one's ugly. And then I have a couple silver PS2s, and I've seen countless silver PS2s, but this one stuck out to me. So I ended up getting this. This was $25, a little more than I wanted to pay, but I thought it was a cool pickup, and it was small enough to fit in my luggage properly. It wasn't even in my luggage, it was in my backpack that I brought with me. Unfortunately, the controller came separately, but $5 for the PS2 white controller. And then I end up getting some other peripherals. Now, if you see, just look at the dates here. This was PS2 day, like August 2nd, 2018 was PS2 day. Because I also end up getting not one, but 2 of these. I thought they were funny. These 128 megabyte PS2 memory cards. These were $2.99 each. Now, these things, normally, yeah, they are 128 megabytes, but they're not very trustable. On top of that, they're really not Magic Gate compliant, so you really can't install FreeMcBoot on them. I've installed FreeMcBoot on my general thing is I install FreeMcBoot on all my memory cards, and I've installed FreeMcBoot on third-party, like pirate, it's essentially, pirated memory cards like this, just cloned ones, not the generic ones, I'm talking about these clone ones right here, the ones that are straight out of China, and it doesn't go well. I don't recommend it at all. That's why I tell people, if you're installing FreeMcBoot, which in case you don't know, FreeMcBoot is essentially soft modding your console to allow it to play homebrew and all that, just by loading some files onto the memory card. If you're going to install FreeMcBoot, get a official memory card. Seriously, they're like $10 tops, all right? You're going to struggle to find a PS2 memory card for more than $10, like an official one. I'm talking go to a thrift store, go to a friend, go to your parents' house if you have that PS2 up in the attic, go to eBay. For $8 or $10, you can buy a PS2 official memory card with FreeMcBoot installed, so they're going to do all the work for you. But either way, I'll probably crack open one of these, but I am going to keep one of them sealed just for the novelty of it. So I decided to pick those 2 up. And on top of that, let me see if I have them around here. I'm looking around. Here we go. Here's the last 2 items I got from this Goodwill. I ended up getting a official PS2 memory card for $1, and I also got a third-party, but Magic Gate. As you can see, this one's also $1. This is, I don't even know who makes this one, actually. Would this be Mad Cats or what? But yeah, no, it has the official logos and everything. And some people might be saying, "Oh, well, the bootleg ones can have them." So no, 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 no. This one's official. This one is official. This one would actually be Magic Gate. And I've had good luck installing FreeMcBoot on other memory cards that are not official Sony. So you don't have to get an official Sony one, but just get one. If you get a third-party one, don't get one of these things right here, guys. Get something that was actually made back in the day that is good, that would have been sold in Walmart. All right, I have had memory, like storage corruption with one of my memory cards, but for the most part, it's been fine. But these Chinese ones don't trust with your saves. So yeah, as you can see, the good ones, I end up paying $1 less for each of those. So I thought that was awesome. One thing that is funny, I believe somebody reached out to me on Twitter, because I had put this out on Twitter, showing that I walked in, found this PS2. Sean Torres, he does some PS4 related jailbreak stuff on here, but he interacts with me a bit on Twitter, and shout out to him, I guess. But what happened was we were kind of talking back and forth, and he was like, "Man, you're so lucky, you need to go play the lottery. Like, seriously, I walk into a Goodwill, and I find a dirty, nasty jacket for $20 that has holes in it. You walk in and find a PS2. And I thought that was kind of two-sided. One, because it's like, yeah, this is exciting for people like him and I. But on the other side, there's going to be people who will scoff and be like, bruh, you walked into a Goodwill in 2018 and all you found was a PS2. You didn't find anything good. See, I like this stuff. A lot of other people aren't going to, which is why this isn't a Goodwill. But yeah, this one particular Goodwill we went to, they also had a original Xbox console for $20. They had another PS2 that they got in the same day. It was a fat model, and that one was $20. And I did not pick up either of them because my thing was, I didn't want to get a giant console from Seattle and bring it back with me unless it was either, a stellar deal or it was a rarity. This one was small and it was a rarity, so that's why I didn't mind. But like a PS2 Slim for $20, well, like a PS2 Fat for $20, I'd rather pay the extra $30, like $10 and get it locally. A original Xbox console for $20. Again, I did it right there. I'd rather just pay $10 more locally or $5 more on eBay and get one. It's not worth putting it in my luggage and such for that. Especially if they're just, regular retail consoles. They're not even, from Japan or Europe or anything else. So that's all I got there. But either way, I ended up going to, let's see what we're going to cover next. Let's continue the Goodwill stuff. So the thing about Seattle Goodwill is, shout out to the people in Seattle, all the Seattleites there. I end up getting this as well. Shout out to all the Seattleites, because y'all take care of your stuff, even when it's in a thrift store. I noticed they had a ton of accessories. It was kind of hard to find consoles, actually. Some people might be thinking I found a ton of 360s, especially because I was in Seattle. Not really. I'll tell you all the consoles I found in thrift shops. I found a Xbox for $13. That was the only additional one I told you. I bought one of them. I found a PS2, like a regular fat PS2 for $20. I found a Xbox for $20, and I found another Xbox for $13. Those are all the consoles I found when I was in the Seattle area. I didn't see a 360. I didn't see Wii's. I didn't see PS3s at all. I certainly didn't see any current gen stuff. But I found a lot of 360 controllers. I found a lot of 360 PS3 Wii games. Not so much the consoles. So I decided to get one of these. I went to another Goodwill. This was $5. I like to pick up these official 360 wired controllers when I can, because they're a little hard to find. It's not like they're super rare or valuable, but they're a bit harder to find than the wireless ones. So I said, you know what, why not? Also, it's so much more convenient just, working with one of these when I'm working on different consoles. I also end up getting this right here, this official, well, not official, I get this Hyperkin branded. This is probably, in my opinion, this is probably just as good as a Nintendo controller, but a Hyperkin branded Nintendo controller, and this is also $5. So, this comes with the Retron too. Okay, interesting. Either way, though, I've been happy with that pickup. So those are all the controllers that I end up getting, at least from that haul. Going through the rest of the stuff here, I kind of want to go through all the accessories. So, end up getting this cool-looking blue original Xbox controller. This was at the same store that I saw the, I just have to get my stores in line here. This is the same one that I end up seeing the $13 Xbox at. And they had tons of controllers. They had so many. I had to hold myself. I really had to hold myself, because I was like, dude, I cannot come back home with a bag full of controllers, because I only brought a suitcase and a and a backpack, and my girlfriend also just brought a suitcase and a backpack. So I did put some of this stuff in her luggage, thankfully, but I didn't want to buy a whole other bag when I was there, just especially for some like controllers. But this was in really good shape, and also I don't see these ones as much either, so I end up paying $6 for this. I'll put that over to the side. Right here, end up grabbing one of these, which is a official Xbox 360 remote. Never had one of these. I thought this was cool. This is $2, so I said, why not? I'm gonna get it for $2. Now here we go. We're getting into some other stuff. This is what surprised me. I was actually with a Kiwi dog. So in case you don't know, he is someone who, he's been known in the Xbox modding scene, the Xbox 360 modding scene, now doing PS4 stuff. And I decided to meet up with him. He's in the Seattle area. And we ended up going to a Goodwill there. He was the first person this is the first time I did some Goodwill shopping when I was in Seattle. So we were looking at stuff, and he actually ended up buying a Duke controller because it was in solid shape, like flawless shape. Again, Seattleites take care of their shit when it comes to gaming. It's crazy to me. It's so crazy because like seriously, look at this. Look, this stuff I got locally. Look how nasty this is, right? I don't know if the camera can really pick it up, but this is brown. All right, this is brown. This is yellowed and all that. And then you see something like this, like older by about 10 years. No, actually, no. Well, we came out in 2006. Xbox came out in 2001, so it's still older by a few years, not 10, mind you. But look at it. It still has the nubs. It still has the nubs on the sticks right here. That's crazy to me. Oh, man. Anyways, I end up getting one of these right here because we were shopping. He ended up getting a Duke, and we started looking through stuff, and I just saw this, and I was like, oh, I need this. And he's like, oh. Okay, because since he's in the original Xbox, I thought he was going to get excited. So I'm like, no, I saw it first. I touched it first. Dibs, it's mine. This right here is a wireless Logitech branded Xbox controller. It comes with the controller, probably has the batteries in it, and it has one of these receivers as well too. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a break and open this. So I just opened it up here, and holy crap, aside from a few scuffs, this thing is in such good shape. Now, I actually ended up buying several of these receivers. My idea was I'll get the receivers, then I'll get the controllers as they come, because I think I ended up paying $25 or $30 for 4 of these receivers. But the controllers are a lot more expensive. The controllers are like $30, $40 each. Used, I'm telling you. So if you can get a controller with a receiver complete, like I'm just talking about controller with matching receiver, and it doesn't have to be matching, you can sync them up, thankfully, you're looking at about $50, and that's a good deal. So it was stellar to find this for $7. I also just checked, it does not have any batteries in it, and there's no corrosion, because I actually have 2 of these controllers already, and only one of them works. One of them works perfectly fine. The other one has been corroded, and the terminals here have been messed with, so it doesn't work. I'm going to have to, do some surgery on it. But now I'm less inclined to, because I got a second one of these, and now I have 5 of these things now. So no, that to me is awesome. But yeah, if you can find these things for cheap, I'm telling you, don't skimp on it at all. On top of that, I also end up getting another one from the same Goodwill. I got all the PS2 stuff from. Not a Xbox One, and this was not on PS2 day. As you can see, this is on the 24th. Maybe you can see it, but this was $7 for the wireless PS2 Logitech controller. These things are pretty good. They are cheaper on PS2. I noticed the Xbox ones are like $50, $60. These PS2 ones, I want to say they're anywhere from $20 to $40. You do need a dongle, and then you need to get the PS2 controller, and you need to sync it up. But I have a couple PS2 wireless controllers, a couple dongles that work. This one did not come with the dongle. I looked everywhere for it, could not find it. It's probably just lost in a heap somewhere. But this one has corroded a little bit, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to clean that up. I don't have any doubts that it works, but I do need to clean it up in the current state that it's in, so that would be a fun time. Either way, though, getting one of these for $7, assuming that it works, I think a good deal. This I did not pay any extra for. This is just the PS2 PSU that I end up getting. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the rest of the stuff here. So I'm going to have to physically move a little bit and get closer to everything. So let's go ahead and get into some of the different pickups, but getting to near the end, the Seattle stuff. This was all from what is it here? Pink Gorilla. So Pink Gorilla, in case you don't know, it's not only just a used game store, it's an import store for used games and such. They have 2 locations in Seattle. They have a University District location, which that's the better one. That's what you should go to if you have to choose one of them. And they have the International District one. The International District one is definitely worth going to if you're going to be in the area. I thought International District was awesome. That was actually the first one I went to. But again, if you can only choose one, check out the one in University. Don't go to International. But I ended up grabbing Virtual Racing from there for $9 on the 32X. I only have one 32X game. I picked up a 32X somewhat recently. I only have Doom on it, and that's because I got it included with it. But I got Virtual Racing. This is deluxe as well. I ended up getting, this was actually at another shop that I ended up going to, and I don't remember the name of it right now, but either way, this is another shop. Oh, this was, I think, like Al's Games and Movies and Music or something. It was a music shop that was just a block away from Pink Gorilla on University, so you should also check out that place as well. Now, I got Virtual Fighter there for $12. Overpaid slightly for it. I could have gone on eBay for like 10, but I figured, you know what, I'm there. How about we grab it? And Star Wars Arcade. This is from Pink Gorilla again for $12. Now it was funny because I ended up getting these two. This is from the International District location, and when I got these, they had 332X games, and the guy who was there, Lane, real cool guy, he was just like, hey, well, are you sure you don't want the other one, which is like a golfing game? I was like, no, I don't really want that unless you're going to give it to me. And he laughed and said, like, nah, that's not happening. But I end up getting a golf game on the PlayStation, which I'll show you. And he was like, really? So you're going to get the golf game on PS1, but you're not going to get the one left on 32X? I'm like, nah, dude, the one on PS1 looks good. I don't want to play the one on 32X. So I end up grabbing those right here. We have a few others. So here is some stuff I end up grabbing from, which place was it? This was Another Castle Games. So this is, I don't remember exactly where, but it was pretty much right off a highway. I didn't like getting there. You see, we did not rent a car when we were out there. We just used Uber and the bus and the light rail when we were out there. So taking the bus out there took like an hour. And then it put us directly across the street from Another Castle video games. But the problem was it was on a busy highway. So I'm like, hell no, I'm not crossing this, especially if I have someone with me. So we had to essentially walk like another, I would say, mile, like half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, at least half a mile, because we had to walk all the way to an intersection, cross the street, then walk all the way back. It was very annoying. So if you're going out there, take a Uber or drive yourself or something. But anyways, the store was awesome, and also has a arcade hooked up to it as well too. But I ended up getting Pocket Monsters Stadium, otherwise known as Pokemon Stadium, the Japanese import, for $7. Pokemon Stadium 2 for $10. Wave Race Blue Storm for $6.50. Now, these are kind of mix and match all over the place, but this was Al's, so I got Driver 2 from there for $1. Figured that'd be good. $40 for some music. This was just kind of thrown in with the stack, so okay, why not? You guys have already seen it. Tool is my all-time favorite band. Yeah, I end up paying a lot for a single, but I end up going to this awesome music store in Capitol Hill, and I saw it there, and my thing is I always look for a couple bands, and one of them is Tool, and when I saw this, I was like, you know, I've never even seen this thing. Yeah, this is going in the collection for sure. So, yeah, did I overpay for this? Absolutely. But compared to what it's actually worth, I was looking online. I could have bought it online for $100, but I paid $40. But yeah, that's purely a collector's item right there, admittedly. Here we go, going back to the Pink Gorilla stuff. I end up getting from their University District store, Everybody Golf. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Everybody's Golf. And this is the one I got from the International District, Everybody's Golf 2. So $5 for each of them. This was also at their University District store, Guilty Gear X for the Dreamcast. I didn't even know that it came out on Dreamcast. I played it on PS2, but I said, why not? Marvel vs. Capcom. These are the Japanese imports, obviously, by the way. So that was 18. And I got this from their International District. This was Tekken 3 for $6. So they didn't really... I don't think they educated us as much about this when we went to the... was it University? Yeah, when we went to the University store, but when we went to the International District, like, the guy was real cool, and he's like, hey, so, you know, these are Japanese imports, right? And I was like, yep. Totally understand. I got modded systems. I can play them. And that's one thing. They make it very obvious. They put their imports all over the store. Granted, they're in like separate areas. So you go to the PS1 section and you'll have a whole stack of imports and then a whole stack of, you know, domestic copies. So you can't get it mixed up. But they do warn you. But I noticed Seattle is very import friendly because, again, like, I got these games from another store. And I even asked them about it when I went to another castle, and they kind of confirmed, like, yeah, pretty much you kind of run into everything when you're in this Seattle area, so they are very import friendly. These are not these are not games, obviously, but when we were in the Capitol Hill area, there was one record store I went to called Zion's Gate, and it was pretty much just a hole-in-the-wall music store. Ended up getting a few things there, and this is real cool. I kind of want to tell this story real quick. I ended up seeing there was some records, and then behind them there were like some suspicious-looking DVDs like this. So I decided to look, and lo and behold, I found like several stacks of bootleg concert DVDs. I'd only heard of stories like this. I had never ever experienced that. So I ended up picking these two up because I got love for System of a Down. They actually got me into like bootleg concert collecting and all that as well too. And yeah, you know what? There's part of me that kind of hates like, hey dude, I paid for them, but at the same time, there's a side of me that's just like, hey, I got to experience that. That was awesome. So I ended up getting these two concerts. One of them, this is a pro shot of them in Holland, and from what I saw, it was pro shot means it was professionally recorded, and it was aired on TV, and someone recorded it onto VHS tape and then transferred it, probably uploaded online. The guy who made it probably downloaded it and ripped it on here, like burned it on here. This was $9. And then, as you can see, these are, yeah, definitely like, I love how crappy they look. That's the thing. I love it. This one was recorded with someone with just a camera. And as you can see, even right here, a one-camera concert film. And this is also $9. I considered getting some other DVDs. Like, I saw they had a few Slayer concerts, but I'll be honest, I looked at that and I was like, I don't like Slayer enough to be buying random bootleg concerts. So I still thought it was cool. Now, back to the games, at least for now. End up going to another thrift store. I don't remember the name of this one. We kind of stopped in when we saw it in one area. But I got Armored Core 4 for $3. This was, I don't remember which store this was at, to be honest. Oh, no, I think this was actually at another castle. This is $3.50 for PGR4. Figured I'd put that back into the collection. Also end up getting this as well too. Got a Import 360 game, Ace Combat 6. So kind of funny. I have check this out in the same haul. I got the American version that I paid $1 for. I got the import version that I paid $6 for. This is at another castle, and this was obviously $6. So got that. And then right here, Pokemon box. This is weird. So this is probably not too thrifty, but this is a PAL. As you can see, PAL import will not play on US GameCube. It was just under $60, and Pokemon box Ruby and Sapphire. Now, as you can see, let's take a look at the bottom here. I'll kind of show you all. So, attention, the following are required to play Pokemon Box: Nintendo GameCube system, Game Boy Advance system or Game Boy Advance SP system, Nintendo GameCube Game Boy Advance cable, Nintendo GameCube memory card, Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire GameCube disc, Pokemon Ruby Game Pack or Pokemon Sapphire Game Pack. So, this is kind of a odd rarity that requires a whole lot of things. And I believe it was only released in Europe. I don't know if it got a Japanese release. I certainly don't think it got a American release. But either way, let's see. The ultimate utility for Pokemaniac is here. Store up to 1,500 Pokemon from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Memory card 59, it did not include, unfortunately. Allows you to collect, store, and search your Pokemon. Play Pokemon Ruby or Pokemon Sapphire on your TV. And display your Pokemon in a showcase stage. Customize the stage and background, then display your Pokemon. So not much of a game per se, more of a utility. But I was shocked at this as well too, because I even looked online, and this was going for more than $60. So I said, you know what, let's go ahead and throw it into the collection. So probably not thrifty, but I did save on it compared to what it's normally worth. So there we go. And now we're getting into the final stack right here. Which, first of all, this is certainly not gaming related, but this is a brand new stack of CDRs, specifically CDR music discs from Sony. Now, I paid $5 for this when I ended up going to a Goodwill, and the reason why I got this is because I've talked about this in previous episodes. Normally, when I see like stacks of blank media at thrift shops, I buy them because I actually do utilize them, not all the time, but I do utilize them for, older consoles such as these. And these older consoles are much better. They are much less temperamental if you use old new media with them as opposed to brand new media. So something like this is perfect. Now, the reason why I got these ones specifically is because recently, I didn't include this one in the pickups, but I did talk about this on Twitter. I ended up getting a standalone CD burner. So like on the back, it's not like one you hook up to your computer. You can't hook it up to your computer at all. You're actually supposed to hook it up to another analog or digital source. So for example, I have it hooked up to my record player. So now I could actually easily digitize records directly to a CD. But it's extremely temperamental. It plays CDs just fine, but for burning, it wants them specifically to be CDR music. And out of all of the blank CDs I have, I've probably tried like 7 different brands. I even end up picking up some others when I was going to thrift shops, and those ones didn't work. I have some Sony CDR music branded ones, and those are the only ones that work. So the fact that I found a stack of 30 of them brand new, like old new stock, for $5, I said, you know what, for my case, totally worth it. This will work. So now I have another 30 to work with, thankfully. So let me just put that over there. But here, end up grabbing a few more games. I think these are the last ones I end up getting from another castle. But I end up getting Warhawk. I love these boxes so much, these long box games. I love them so much for the PlayStation. End up getting Warhawk for $2. And I was actually shocked because this said Warhawk box. And it was just sitting behind the counter. So I was like, oh, okay. That's probably just the box only. Well, for $2, sure, I'll pick it up. So I asked to see it. Imagine my surprise when I opened it up and I actually found the disc in there. Now, granted, that is kind of busted up a little bit and the disc still looks to be fine, but I have the game already, so I was thinking I'll just put the disc in there and be okay. But yeah, no, I was quite pleasantly surprised. And even the guy behind the employee there, he was like, oh, well, okay, yeah, I guess the disc comes with it. And I'm like, yeah. It better, because I found it like that. So yeah, $2. It unfortunately doesn't come with the manual, but you know what? Still, really nice display piece. Right here, I also end up grabbing this because I only have one of these games, I believe. But yeah, no. I end up getting, this came with some editions of the Sega Saturn. This is the not-for-resale collection that has Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Cop, Daytona USA. This is not the good one, by the way. Daytona USA Championship Edition is the better one, if you need to get it. But yeah, no, check this out. 3 free games, a $189 value with purchase of a Sega Saturn. So you end up getting that if you purchase it at the same time. And this was only $12, specifically $11.50. But yeah, no, I was really excited to get this. I opened it up. The manuals are all there. The games are all there. They actually come in like little sleeve covers. And I'll actually just show you. I'll go ahead and open this up and show you all right here, if you don't mind. Because there's one more thing it came with. So check this out. As you can see, manual. They're black and white, so they kind of cheaped out right there. But it also comes with the Sega Saturn bootleg sampler. Now, I was under the impression this was super rare. It's actually not, but it's still really cool to have. So it comes with the bootleg sampler, and then, of course, Virtua Cop, Virtua Fighter 2, Daytona USA. it's nice having all those complete. I'm just going to put it like that for now, and I'll put everything in later on. That's in like an old software type box. Like even it has like the division and everything for where you put the games, like the stopper there and the manuals. I thought that was really cool. Right here, end up getting from another Goodwill, Fable the Journey, brand new. I think this is one of my first Goodwill pickups for $4. I said, you know what? I have not played this. Screw it. Sure, let's go ahead and pick it up. 99 Nights, paid $3 for this. Forza Motorsport 2, the complete edition and Platinum Hits. I don't like the Platinum Hits ones, but somehow I've just completely skipped out on getting Forza 2 properly in my collection. And this is particularly impressive to me, well, attractive, I guess I should say, because it is complete. So I think this does have all the DLC on it, which you can get regularly online. But here it even says, let me kind of show you there, bonus disc includes all cars and tracks available on Xbox Live, bringing the total number of cars to over 350. So I don't think the cars on here were being charged for. I think it's just all of the DLC that was probably given out for free that added more cars, and now you actually have it on disc, which I fully support. So having everything available on this for only $3, totally worth it. End up getting Nightcaster. I have no idea which Microsoft employee that was because their number is not there. But you see a lot of these stickers, by the way, over there. You see a lot of these stickers on games. $3 for Nightcaster on the original Xbox. Gun for $3 on Xbox 360. I've actually never played this, so I'm excited to give it a shot. Marvel Ultimate Alliance with Forza Motorsport 2. So as you can see, I have... oh, and this one's brand new, by the way. This one, it's been busted open, but it's still sealed. So Marvel Ultimate Alliance, this is actually... I wanted to definitely pick this up because, one, I played it years ago and I really enjoyed it. But two, it actually got delisted from online stores. So I said, oh, I definitely have to pick this up now. So yeah, no, now I have it. I'm not worried about it anymore. But also now I guess I have the regular copy of Forza 2, kinda. It's not like the actual retail one. This one was bundled with a bunch of Xbox 360s, so it's not the standalone actual pack. I kind of want to get that at one point, the non-platinum hits regular version of Forza 2. But either way, I got 2 copies of Forza 2 on this trip. I got a brand new copy of Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, on Xbox for $5. And here, these ones are a little bit more, but I think these games specifically, these are the last ones I end up getting from the University District store of Pink Gorilla. So this was Nights into Dreams on PS2. This ended up getting ported over, I believe, and I didn't even know this was a thing until Adam Koralik, he actually did a video on, I believe, Free McBoot. It was either Free McBoot or it was the PS2. And in one of those videos, he pretty much kind of showed this up. He's like, yeah, Nights into Dreams. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It got ported over to the PS2. Japan got it, we didn't. So it's on Sega Saturn normally. I do have the Saturn release. I have never played it on PS2. I didn't own it on PS2 until now. $30, I said, sure, let's go ahead and grab it. Probably not thrifty, but hey, I still wanted it. San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, a Japanese edition. Best price apparently $11. That I don't know. I had to get this though just because I got love for Grand Theft Auto, and it is a Japanese version of Grand Theft Auto. I would be extremely surprised if this was dubbed. I highly doubt it was dubbed. It's probably all in English with all the text in Japanese. But either way, super happy to get a hold of this. And one thing I think is really cool, which you're not going to see on European or American versions. Have you ever seen a copy of Grand Theft Auto with the Capcom logo on it? Because I kind of doubt you have. But yeah, Capcom is the company that actually published over in Japan, for those who did not know. So for anyone questioning it, yeah, for some reason, I guess Rockstar doesn't really, during the PS2 era, I don't believe they really had that much pull. But as you can see, published and distributed in Japan by Capcom. So that's all they did right there. I think it was Rockstar North who developed the game. Rockstar Games, otherwise known as DMA Interactive, they're the ones who published it. But in Japan, they had to get Capcom to put their name on it. Capcom probably just has that extra pull in Japan because, you know, they're a Japanese company. They make Japanese games. And finally, this thing here. This is like a McDonald's demo type thing. And it has some exclusive McDonald's branding for, obviously Ape Escape on PS2 and Parappa the Rapper 2. I just thought this was kind of wacky, and I saw it right there, and I said, you know what? Sure, let's go ahead and grab it. 15 bucks. Here's the last Thrifty stuff. Rally Sport Challenge 2. This was only $1, and I was with Kiwi when we saw this, and I said, you know what, my copy of Rally Sport Challenge 2 is actually kind of messed up. I can't fully rip it, so for $1, totally worth it to me. Here we go, the last two Goodwill pickups. End up getting Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, so now I have all of the soft mod titles for the original Xbox. For anyone that does not know, you can soft mod the original Xbox, but you need previously 3 games. You either needed the original copy, you needed the original Splinter Cell, you needed a non-platinum hits version of Mech Assault, or you needed a non-platinum hits version of 007 Agent Under Fire. But in the past year or two, I think it was in 2016, one gentleman by the name of Grim Doomer ended up finding a very similar exploit, game save exploit method, which essentially requires you to load up a custom map, and then when you load up that custom map, you're able to load up Linux and therefore modify your console. And that was for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. He found it all, he reversed it, he developed it himself, and he ended up releasing it. So we actually have 4 copies, 4 different games that we can use to soft mod a Xbox. Now, I remember I had people, there was one person, because I did a soft mod tutorial, and one person, I don't know, this guy just always left sour comments, but I was talking about the other 3 games, and he's like, God, just get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. It's no, you should only get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 if you want to get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, because looking at it from an economical standpoint, gameplay standpoint, all the other 3 games, Mech Assault, 007 Agent Under Fire, and Splinter Cell, they're all good games. Looking at it from an economical standpoint, this is actually the most expensive. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, I noticed, normally goes for anywhere from $7 to $10, while the other 3 games go from anywhere from $1 to $7. Splinter Cell is normally the cheapest. I'd say normally from cheapest to most expensive, it's normally Splinter Cell, Mech Assault, 007, Tony Hawk. But I ended up paying, this was a $4 game, but Blue was half off, so I paid $2 for this, which I am totally cool with. So yeah, that is one nice thing. Essentially now, if you want to soft mod your Xbox, and the downside is, as I said, you can only do it with non-platinum hits versions of 007 or Mech Assault. So if you want to be sure that you just want to go out and buy a game that can soft mod your system, and you don't want to worry about a disc check or disc variant, get Tony Hawk or get Splinter Cell. If money's not an issue to you, you're spending less than $10, but still, if money doesn't matter to you, pick the game that you want to play more, because all copies of those games are exploitable. Thanks, Lily. Appreciate you. There's Dog. But we have one more game down here, one more game. So let's move Tony Hawk out of the way, and the last game I ended up getting was a Zurich Rise of Parthia. I don't think a sequel came out to this, and this is a launch title on the original Xbox. I remember playing it as a kid, didn't really like it, but I didn't really understand it, so now hopefully I can understand it. This is also a $4 game, ended up paying $2 for it. So yeah, that's been about it with all of this stuff right here, so thank you all so much for sitting through this long episode of Thrifty Gaming Pickups. We ended up getting quite a few things here, didn't we? Right, Lily? We got a whole lot of stuff. Lily, come here. God, this dog is just so lazy sometimes. Let's finish this off by going over to the dog. She didn't even want to say anything on the mic or any of that fun stuff. But yeah, anyways, thanks, Lily. Now you're going to move around and stuff. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to this channel, iPsychozoa. This is actually my second channel. Yes, I said second. So this channel has been more for this series right here, the Thrifty Gaming Pickup series. In addition to that, it's also been just the channel where I upload stuff that's not as... It's more random, it's sporadic, it might not be as polished, it doesn't really fit my main channel. If you want to see more videos just by me, and you might be interested in what else I do, check out my main channel, that's going to be down below in the description, Mr. Mario 2011, hopefully I'll see you on there. But either way, feel free to subscribe, check out more, and until next episode of the Thrifty Gaming Pickup series, Thank you all so much for watching. I gotta pick all this up now. Lily, just pick all of it up for me, please. I'll give you dog food if you do. Oh, and my bad, everyone. Right now, in the middle of, trying to get all this stuff against the wall before I take it downstairs here. Totally forgot that I had this on camera for several minutes, and I said I was going to get to it, and I never did get to it. This is from Game Over Video Games. This was actually just hours before we ended up leaving. We decided to walk around, and we checked out this mall. And it was just perfect, because it was a few hours before we left. It was the last place we went to. Literally the very last shop that we saw in this mall of any interest was Game Over Video Games. Really awesome game store that I'd recommend you check out. I didn't even find it on my Google Maps. I don't know how, but I didn't find it. But either way, it's in the Maple Leaf area, just outside of it. And end up getting this e-reader for the Game Boy Advance for $10. I do need to get the cards. I wonder if there's any other way to obtain them. I'm not sure. So I don't know how useful this is going to be, but I had one of these as a kid, and I don't know what happened to it, but I had some cards, I had this, I don't know where they're at, but it was totally worth it for me to get this peripheral for $10, so that's the last thing I end up getting. Anyways, signing off for real this time. Later, everyone. Thank you for watching Thrifty Gaming Pickups.